big is this win, also taking on a guy who never lost, pretty hot prospect, his own name? How big was it, not only just winning, but basically dominating the 2 rounds you were in there?
It felt good, man. I mean, I moved up a weight class, moved up to 185, and I wanted to see how my body would respond and see how I felt, and I feel good. I felt like he was a big opponent too for 185. He was a tall guy, so it gave me a realistic look at what I had going forward and whatnot. And I feel so nice, man. Not killing myself to make 170, and we got in and got it done.
Now I got to ask, how much is that also because Musashi's no longer around, Cheetah's not around? All of a sudden, you have a free for all at the middleweight title. I mean, 1 or 2 wins, all of a sudden, you could maybe be facing the champion within like early 2020.
Yeah, I mean, that's the plan. I want to fight the best in the world, and I feel like my skill set is set up for guys like that. I'm durable, I'm tough, I'm going to go out there, and I'm always looking to get a finish. I mean, that's my 8th fight, and I think I have 6 finishes in 8 pro fights, and that's what people want to see. They want to see people get cut open and bleed, and I'm ready for it, and I'm ready for that next jump, and I want to take on a big name for sure.
That was kind of a horror show in there. I mean, like, did you have a feeling in between rounds, in between the second and third, that they might shut it down?
No, what's so funny is my wife is yelling at me, like, giving me instructions and whatnot. My wife's, my biggest coach and whatnot, and so she's telling me, hey, you need to go out and do this, and I'm like, hey, babe, the fight's over. They're calling the fight. And she still kept going, like, you need to do this, and like, babe, the fight is over. And so we, but yeah, I knew I cut him open quite a bit. I knew there was a lot of blood, and it just kind of pumps you up even more and gets you more excited.
You probably hadn't heard the Sabah's call out of you prior to that, or did anybody tell you, considering you were walking out rounds?
Yeah, I'm honestly not really even sure who Sabah's is, or whatever. And so someone said something. I was like, I honestly wasn't paying attention to fights before or whatever, and so Big John kind of caught me off guard. I was like, I don't know who the fuck that is, honestly.
But the good thing is that, I mean, you're already at the point in your career where guys are calling you out like before you even fight. I mean,
yeah,
I think that has a lot to do with you, and it has, no offense to Paige, who's within earshot, but it has a lot to do with how you're performing in there.
Hey, man, Mr. Van Zandt right here, so I'm ready to keep doing it, and like I said before, people want to test that and, prove me wrong, so, that's just what I have to say about that.
And you did say afterwards you feel like 185 is where you'll stay now. I mean, what's the biggest that you've walked around at in your career?
Yeah, I mean, as an amateur, I finished up my wrestling career, and I wrestled at 184, and I've always kind of wrestled up a weight class, and so I didn't have to kill my body, and I'm in this for the long run and for the longevity and whatnot, and so I haven't really cut a ton of weight prior in my career till I made that jump till I went to 170. So like, I think I was like 230 right after I got done wrestling. I was lifting a lot and all that. So, as an amateur, I fought at 205. I think I fought at a catch weight at like 210 or whatever. And so, the size thing, it is what it is. I feel strong and fast, and I think I'm a tough matchup for everybody.
Were you surprised at how big he was? Because that was the first thing I noticed when you guys stared off. I know it was a different opponent. It was a short notice replacement, but were you surprised that he was as big as he was? And was that, kind of a good test for you, knowing that you can hang with guys that size?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, we saw him walking around, and so we got a little glimpse of him before, watched his fights and whatnot. We knew he was going to be a big opponent. In my opinion, he was a little bigger than even what I saw, like, on video and whatnot. So, I think it was a good realistic view on, if I'm going to fight the biggest guys at 185, he's going to be one of the biggest guys, and so he landed a couple body kicks early on, but God's blessed me with this big, strong core, and, it didn't really feel much, and so, I carry a lot of my weight, my core, and my legs, and I think I'm built to, you don't ever want to be built to take shots, but I feel like I'm built to take shots and punish people.
What was the advice in the corner between the first and the second round? Because obviously things really changed. You had a takedown in the first. You stood on top. You definitely won the round. The second round was a totally different story. What was the advice? What was the conversation like in the corner between rounds 1 and round 2?
Yeah, my coach is very cerebral, and and they know that I am too, and I'm attentive when they're talking to me in the corner. And really the advice was, go out and when I set up my stuff, as soon as he starts rushing in, the double legs there all day, and so listen to that and listen to my coaches tell me, the guard's open, be looking to pass, and controlling the hands, controlling the head to land my elbows.
Connecticut in the winter, Connecticut in the summer, which do you prefer?
Man, it is muggy here in the summer. It's crazy. I'm from Alaska, so I'm an Alaska boy, and so I'm more partial to the cold and the snow, So I think I prefer the winter a little more. But Connecticut's a beautiful place, and I actually truly really like it here. It's coincidental that I fought here twice, but I really love Connecticut. So they're coming back here like fairly soon, right? So get me on that card, and let me come back to Connecticut.
You mentioned before your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu training. You said you had the best in the world. The top two guys at middleweight. One's John Salter, pretty damn good Jiu-Jitsu.
Yep.
The other one, Rafael Lovato Jr.
Yep.
Do you start now focusing on those two guys? Because they're the ones to get, if you want to get the title,
Yeah.
you got to go through those two. Is that now the plan of, all right, get ready for heavy jiu-jitsu, heavy leg attacks, it's everything?
Yeah, I think so. John Salter, I'm an NAIA wrestling guy. John Salter wrestled at Lindenwood University. So I've done my studying, done my research and whatnot. I know he's one of the top guys too. And he's a good jiu-jitsu guy, and same with Rafael Lovato Jr. And I think I'm blessed to be put in this camp that I'm at with Fabiano, and I really truly feel like I got a lot going around me, and my wife, she's been around the world, she's trained at the best places, and I trust her more than anybody with what she tells me about my game and all that, and so I go into each fight with a lot of confidence because of her and because of Fabiano and my jiu-jitsu.
So we've seen you corner Paige. She's obviously cornered you. I mean, how special is that? Because not many people get to hear their wife in between rounds.
Man, it's unbelievable. Honestly, I feel like I'm cheating sometimes, the game and all that, because I have somebody who is with me 24/7, and knows me better than anybody in the world. But, she's like a second pair of eyes for myself, and she's the most brutally honest person. And that's what I want in my life. I want somebody honest with me and telling me, when I suck, and telling me when I'm good. And so when I hear that I'm good, I can believe it, from the bottom of my heart.